Think you've got what it takes to launch a successful YouTube channel? This is Robert Manni, host of Guys TV, and this week my special guest is executive producer and host of Second Act TV, Silke Schwarzkopf. I've also got metaphysical teacher Bill McKenna, and it all starts right here, right now on Guys TV. You can also catch me on KCAA Radio here in Southern California, and Guys Radio, my worldwide podcast. Guys TV, Guys Radio, thanks for your support. Okay, Guys Radio, it's the interview portion of our show, and we're on YouTube for the interviews, and it's my favorite part of the show because I get to bring on some really cool guests. I get to learn a lot, and I get to share all of that with my audience, all you folks out there, and it's a great part of what we do on Guys Radio. We bring you new information, new thoughts, new ways to look at things, and hopefully that'll help make you live your best life. So today I've got a repeat guest. He's been on here before, but he's fantastic. I consider him a friend and one of my teachers. His name is Bill McKenna. He's a marathon runner, martial artist, helicopter pilot, former adrenaline junkie turned spiritual teacher. He's pioneered groundbreaking method for creating massive change, shifting perspectives, and raising consciousness. It's called Cognomovement, and it all centers around a brightly colored ball. Bill is also the author of the book, The Only Lesson. And again, he's the founder of the Cognomovement System with his partner, Liz Larson. Bill's been on the show before. We've talked about Cognomovement. We're going to get into a couple of other different areas and some practices that all of us can use on a regular basis to help us live our best life. So welcome back to Guys Radio, Bill McKenna.
Oh, thanks, Robert. Thanks for having me on. Always great to see you.
Now, Bill is a frequent guest. I discovered Bill. Actually, my wife, Uni, discovered Bill on Gaia because we watch Gaia a lot. And he was a frequent guest of Regina Meredith, who does a terrific show on there. And we really liked what Bill had to say because, first of all, it was things we've never heard about in terms of and things we could do ourselves. And Bill was so generous with his time and with sharing with people that my wife said, hey, you know, this Bill McKenna, he's in San Diego. Why don't you reach out to him? So I did. And we got together and we actually have become friends, and Bill's worked on me and with me, and he's been terrific and really helped me. So I wanted to have Bill share some of the things he does with all of you out there. So I'm so pleased that you're back on the show, Bill. We talked about a whole bunch of different areas and paths we could take today, but we want to start with something that's pretty easy to do that anybody can do that can be really helpful for helping other people. And that is a practice that I saw you do on Gaia with a glass of water in terms of putting the right energy into that water, having somebody drink it and have them receive the benefits of that. And again, you know, we all have to go, what if we have to say when we get into something like that, we're not saying Western medicine doesn't work, but we're saying, consider this. So Bill, do you want to talk about kind of the idea, the concept around that, how you came up with that and how people can do it?
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a lot here with this. And what it is that we humans have this incredible ability. Now, if you talked to me 15 years ago and I heard this, I would have been saying, you are high on crack. There is absolutely no way that this could work. You know, that, you know, the type of things like, you know, back in the day, you know, like, and then Jesus, you know, he touched a man and, you know, and they, you know, their eyesight got better, you know, God knows what.
Water into wine, right? Yeah.
Water into wine, all these things, right? I would have been like, okay, 2,000 years ago, and it happened to Jesus because his name is Jesus, and that's what he does. That's who he is. But here's the thing with the discovery. The discovery that I made is a rediscovery that was covered over. So what it is our innate ability to affect another person in a positive way, to take away their pain. And it's so incredibly simple, but everyone, either the information got distorted or forgot or you name it, but it's been hidden in all of the great text, the great mystical text from all time. And one of the uncoverings was and I'll use, because it goes across these different cultures, but I'll use the Christianity culture. The Bible, everybody has heard, if you ask for it in Jesus's name, it'll be given. Now, I don't know if you've tried it recently, but I've had some, well, shall we say, I haven't gotten very good results, right? And I was brought up all my life, altar boy, 5 Catholic schools, college, all the way through. But it was a simple misunderstanding. And the misunderstanding comes from the root of what was said. Jesus originally spoke Aramaic, and the word in Aramaic that he used, I believe it's bashime, and that word says, that can be translated into ask for it in my name, is one translation. Another translation is do it in my method. Do it in my method. Well, if I tell you to use the Bill McKenna method for changing a tire, it includes getting the jack out of the back, jacking it up, use the, right? But if you say my name, hey, in the name of Bill McKenna, change the tire. Well, it's going to be a while, but using the jack and all the stuff, it works great. So what was Jesus's method? What did he talk about? Well, he talked about seeing the perfection in others. He talked about unconditional love. What's unconditional love? That is a good feeling that's unattached to an outcome. I have a good feeling about you, Robert, and there's no particular reason. I'm not attaching it to the way you treat me or the works that you do. He also talked about having no fear. It is, if you mathematically look at the whole thing, it is the most stated phrase, have no fear, over and over again, have no fear. So he saw the perfection in others. He loved without condition. He saw the perfection in another. So what happens is that if you do his method, you will get the result. Now, in contrast, somebody calls you up with, you know what? Hi, I got cancer. My wife's got cancer. Somebody's got COVID, right? Everything, right, is fear. And what do we do as a, typically is we fold our hands, get down our knees. Oh God, please help me. Please, 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 please. I'll do anything, right? I don't just let them live. Let them be okay, right? Well, what this is the old method, right? It is where we are powerless and we are begging someone else to do the work. The other way is to, they're having an issue, is I simply look at them, you know what? I'm not going to think about your disease or the thing that they said. I am simply going to see you as happy, joyful, blissful. And it's not attached to an outcome. Like, I'm not thinking about your cancer going away. I only say, I can see your perfection. What did Jesus do? He saw the perfection and he was unattached to an outcome. Like, oh, I'm going to be happy about this if I get a result. Oh, I'd be sad about it and feel like a jerk if I do this and I don't get a result.
Okay, let's take a pause for a second. Okay, I want to just say it's Bill McKenna, my special guest, the developer of the Cognomovement System, Guys Radio. We're talking about how to use positive energy to energize, in this case, water, quick thought. When I had a bout with two growths on my kidneys way back in 2014, and my wife, who you know, never was upset about it, and I was like, "Geez, is this it?" And she just never seemed affected by it, and it was always steady and always there. And afterwards, after I got a clean bill of health years later, and fortunately, I didn't have to do chemo or anything like that. It just all came together perfectly. I said, "How come you never seemed upset about that?" And she said exactly what you're saying. She said, "I always saw you as 100% perfectly healthy." So one thought there. And then the other thought is, part of what I have learned in my spiritual unfoldment is that probably the number one thing anybody can do to really raise their frequency, if you will, and make a change in their life is to see everything as divinity, as part of divinity. And that means people, that means people that you like, you don't like, animals, trees, rocks, tires, whatever it is, know that it's all part of divinity. And once you start doing that and becomes muscle memory, it raises everything. And your vibration is up there. And a lot of that low end stuff doesn't affect you because you have kind of elevated energetically. Okay. Sorry, I had to interrupt with that.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that. And what a evolved soul your wife is for seeing that, for actually just doing that method and seeing you as whole and perfect. What happens is energetically, if we start to focus on the illness, we add energy to it. So seeing them as perfect, unattached to an outcome is really where we can provide a healing. And I know it sounds crazy, but when I teach this at the end here, it will become true for you when it's true in your experience. When I first did this, and I there was a person with back pain, and I did this method I'm going to teach you, and they were like, "Oh my God, my back pain is better," and I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, that's crazy that this actually happened. And then I went out and you name it, everybody I could, every homeless person. I just went around one after the next, just practicing and doing this for everybody I could to help everyone. So my encouragement for you is that it's real, and to try it out. First, try it out on another person, and then on yourself.
Okay, let's get to it because we're on the clock, and let's get right to how it works, Bill.
Fantastic. Okay, so the very first thing you do is to get it doesn't matter, glass of water, cup of coffee, anything. And you're going to put the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. You're going to see the person in this water. You're going to see them as if you're simply an observer. There's nothing you want. There's absolutely nothing you want. You're just actually just imagining you're looking at them and you're observing. If you want anything, this will not work. You need to just simply observe their perfection. They are happy, blissful, joyful, imagining them inside this water or cup of coffee. They're lit up like the sun. Put the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth and see them as perfect, whole, happy. You have no thought of the future, no thought of the past. All you can do is observe them right now. This is the type of observation of, let's say you're watching a child play. Or have you ever seen somebody dance and they're so happy and they're free and blissful, and you're an observer, you're just watching them right here, right now, and you're like, oh, that's so, it fills me with joy to watch you doing that and having so much fun. That is it. There's no thought of the future, no thought of the past, only now, and you're simply an observer. Hold this vision as you see the light grow in the cup You see the light growing and growing, and you don't care about any future, any past. You want nothing. You simply see them and you observe it. Hold this for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. And at the very end, what you're going to do is count down 3, 2, 1. You'll clap your hands and see this explosion of light in the cup. And then what you will do is you'll give this water to the person or cup of coffee, and then have them take 2 gulps. 2 gulps, and walk around. Before they take their gulps, what you want to do is ask them, what is the pain on a scale of 1 to 10? And then you have them take a few gulps, walk around, like walk to the far side of the house, come back, take another 2 gulps, walk back and forth, go back to the far end of the house, come back, and ask them, what is it now? What you will find is that this, let's say the pain level was an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, it'll drop down to like, maybe it only drops like 7.5 on the first drink. And then they'll come back and now it's going to be a 7. And then they take another drink and now it's a 5. And they walk around, they take another drink and now it's a 4. And on like that. So over the course of a few minutes and them just drinking and walking around, maybe it's several minutes, 10 minutes of drinking it and walking around, and poof, the pain has gone away. So this is the process. If you can ask them what the pain was on a scale of 1 to 10 before you ever started, it's good, because the healing process even begins when you start to see them in the water. When you're starting this, it'll already start working. So you want to ask them that ahead of time.
So just absolutely amazing. And I guess if you wanted to, for discomfort and the person's right there, this is a good way to start it. You could, I'm assuming you can do it for bigger issues, and it's going to take a little bit more time and more of an ongoing basis. But what actually happens energetically for this to make that shift in somebody?
Wow. Well, it's really super interesting. I could talk about an hour on this subject, but real quick, what happens is you move into another frequency or dimension. And this is that frequency of love. It's unconditional love. I have a good feeling about you, unattached to an outcome. That is an extremely high frequency when I no longer want, and I simply am loving you and seeing you in this perfect way. You've heard that the universe, the source, God, Jesus, I am love, right? This is, you ended up getting into that frequency of that. And when you are in that, the divine wants for nothing. God wants for nothing. And when you have a good feeling and want for nothing, and you see clearly an outcome, what happens is the material world shifts and bends to what your vision is. So it's an amazing thing that is at the quantum level, an observation that happens where you bend the quantum state. And there's science behind this, by the way. Again, it's real scientific stuff.
Fantastic. Real quick, how can people then, if you're going to work on yourself, you have the glass of water, let's say, nobody else is around, and you say, you know what, my hip hurts or something. You have the water there, you project yourself. I assume you see yourself in that water in the perfect state, and you go through the same steps, and then you just drink the water, and then you kind of self-measure. Is that it?
That would be it. Now, here's the trick. You have to let go. That same neutrality, doing it to yourself. I've literally given this talk, And people literally do it right then and there. I'm sure there's probably some listening right now doing it right then and there that have this incredible ability to be neutral. But for most of us, we need to get the training wheels and do it to somebody else so we can kind of get in that zone. It took me about a year and a half to get into the neutral zone when I was in pain and do it myself, but it works. If you simply are neutral, if you want, it will not work. You
Okay.
simply are observing the perfection and you don't have any thought of the pain. And it's hard to do because you're in pain, but you try that.
Okay, my friend and teacher, Bill McKenna, a great tip, easy to do. I suggest everybody if you're going to embark on something like this, you've got to have an open mind. You have to be in the what if. If you're going to be a skeptic about everything and closed off, it's like anything else. It's not going to work. You have to let go. You have to put yourself in a position of not only receiving, but allowing yourself to be lifted in terms of a vibration. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but tell everybody out there where they can find out more about you, because you're going to do these tips. You're going to come back on the show. We're going to do more, but I just want to get in like one tip each segment and really see if we can, get the word of the work you're doing out there and have people be in a position to help themselves and help others live their best lives.
Oh, great. Cognomovement, like cognitive movement. COGNOMOVEMENT.com. And
Fantastic.
everything is.
All right. Thank you, Bill. And we'll see you again. And great to see you on Guys Radio. If you're enjoying the guests and content we bring you each and every week on Guys Radio and TV, please support us by subscribing to our channels. Thank you.